TechCrunch Disrupt.
What's the most interesting conventional thing that you believe?
So I think Silicon Valley is going to be the center of the U.S. economy for the next 10 to 20 years. That's kind of conventional, but I believe it maybe more than most people.
Why do you believe it?
I think that I think we're at a point in our society where we need to somehow find a way to go back to the future. We need to go back to innovating, to doing new things. This is what Silicon Valley does best.
So you've actually said before that tech innovation has slowed. In a world where you've got meatless hamburgers and rover on Mars, do you still think that's the case?
Well, I think that the story of the last 40 years has been one of enormous innovation in computers, internet, mobile internet, but not that much in the world of atoms. So we've had a lot of innovation in the world of bits, more limited in the world of atoms. And I think you're right that we're at a point where people are talking more about innovating outside of computers again in the last few years. But I think it's still a little bit too early to know whether we're really starting to see a new trend. But certainly, if you were to get a self-driving car to work, if you were to figure out all these different ways to get the world of bits and the world of atoms to reconnect, that could be a very powerful boost in the decade ahead.
Do you still think that Twitter is an uninnovative company?
Well, we never said Twitter is an uninnovative company. We have this tagline on our website that they promised us 140 they promised us flying cars, and all we got was 140 characters. But it's not meant to be an anti-Twitter as a business. I think it will be a successful business. It's just, and I've never actually used Twitter, but I thought I would use it for the first time today.
Really?
And so I will go ahead and do my first tweet from 0 to 1. Both a tweet and first tweet and a link to my book 0 to 1. But, so I think Twitter is a fantastic communications tool. It's a way that we can reach a lot of people. It's not going to be enough to take our civilization to the next level. No single company is, and so that's the sense in which our critique was always meant. It's not a critique of a company. It's a critique of thinking that that's enough to take us to the next level.
How long do you think you're going to live?
I think that every time I look at these areas of technology, you get the sense that there is so much more we could be doing. And so it's, even though things are not advancing as fast as I like, I do actually think there's a lot that could be done. And anti-aging is this extremely underexplored field. The most common cause of death is related to aging in one form or another. You're much more likely to get cancer or heart attack if you're 80 than if you're 30. And so I think understanding aging and seeing if there are ways to slow it or even reverse it remains one of the great scientific projects of all time.
If you weren't an entrepreneur or an investor, what occupation would you want to do?
I love mentoring people, so I would actually probably be a teacher of some sort or other.
Yeah, that makes sense. But haven't you started a fellowship that encourages kids to drop out of school?
I'm in favor of teaching. I'm in favor of people learning. I'm skeptical of a lot of what falls under the rubric of education. I think education is an incredible abstraction, and it sort of obscures a lot of the things we're doing, where people are on these tracks, they're getting these credentials, and it's very unclear how valuable they are in many cases.
What's the craziest thing you've heard from people?
There's so many crazy ideas. One of the craziest ones that we did invest in was Elon's SpaceX company back in 2008, which at the time, there were a number of investors who emailed us and told us they were glad never to have invested in Founders Fund, because anyone who invested in something as crazy as a rocket company shouldn't be in venture capital. And so, when you actually drill down on SpaceX in 2008, they already had $500 million of contracts with NASA. They had lots of trials to get the rocket to work. There were a lot of things that were very good. It was not a crazy investment, but it might have looked that way. So I think great investments may look crazy, but really not be.